It's a late November evening in 1966. Two young couples are driving near an abandoned munitions plant outside Point Pleasant, West Virginia, when they spot two glowing, baseball-sized red eyes. They hit the gas, pushing 90 miles per hour down a dark rural road. The creature, a massive winged shadow, chases them from above until they hit the city limits. In the fog-soaked forests of Northern California, logging crews and late-night drivers report a different kind of terror. A massive, hairy humanoid, sometimes 8 feet tall, steps out from the tree line to freeze witnesses in their tracks before vanishing back into the wilderness. Up in the dense swamps of Wisconsin, locals tell stories of the hodak, a beast with a frog-like head, razor-sharp claws, and dinosaur spikes running down its back, ambushing isolated travelers in the dark. And in the New Jersey Pine Barrens, a drive with the top down in the summer of 1964 ends in paralysis. Three friends hear a blood-curdling scream and spot a horned creature with hooves and leathery wings hovering just feet from their windshield. For decades, these encounters served as the ultimate boogeymen. Parents used the stories to keep their children indoors at night, and locals locked their doors, wary of what might be lurking just beyond the edge of town. If you visit those exact same locations today, the atmosphere has shifted. The terrifying woods and lonely roads have been replaced by bright lights, crowded streets, and cheering crowds. The paralyzing fear that once forced communities into a state of panic has subsided. No one is rushing to the sheriff's department in tears to report a monster anymore. Curious, it leads to a specific question. How does a monster accused of terrorizing a town lose its teeth and become a beloved, profitable local mascot? This transition follows a pattern. From West Virginia to Wisconsin, these towns go through a similar sequence of events as they navigate the aftermath of a monster sighting. This pattern is visible across America's 4 major cryptid capitals: Point Pleasant, West Virginia, the Pine Barrens of New Jersey, Willow Creek, California, and Rhinelander, Wisconsin. In each area, local whispers eventually spilled over into the regional press. That word of mouth acted like a magnet, drawing in national newspaper reporters, amateur monster hunters, and tourists looking for a glimpse of the unknown. Sometimes this national attention was anchored by real tragedy. In December 1967, Point Pleasant's Silver Bridge collapsed into the river during rush hour, killing 46 people. The timing of the disaster tied the Mothman to the event in the national consciousness, cementing the creature's reputation as a dark omen. Whether driven by tragedy or curiosity, the massive influx of outsiders brought something else to these remote communities: money. Local businesses realized they were sitting on a significant economic opportunity. The arrival of out-of-town tourists turned the creature from a local threat into a national curiosity and a valuable promotional asset. With the tourists came the skeptics. Scientists, historians, and wildlife biologists arrived in these towns with the goal of investigating and debunking the cryptid sightings. In New Jersey, researchers pointed out that the terrifying shrieks and winged shapes in the Pine Barrens matched the great horned owl. Historically, local smugglers likely encouraged these stories to keep revenue officers out of the woods. Out in Willow Creek, the physical evidence for Bigfoot took a hit when it was revealed that some of the region's most famous footprints were faked. Local loggers had used carved wooden stompers to leave massive prints in the mud as a joke on outsiders. In Wisconsin, the hodak was exposed as a documented 1896 hoax. A 19th-century lumberman named Eugene Shepard fabricated the beast, stitching together cow hides and horns over a wooden frame to draw crowds and bolster his logging town's economy. Yet even when the biological existence of the monster is debunked, the towns refuse to abandon the myth. The story has become culturally and economically essential. Today, these legends are kept alive through structured civic events. Point Pleasant hosts an annual Mothman Festival that takes over Main Street, complete with a 5K race and a beauty pageant, where contestants wear evening gowns inspired by the creature's red eyes. The creatures are now part of the institutional identity of the regions. New Jersey adopted the Jersey Devil as the name of its professional hockey team, and students at Rhinelander High School wear the hodag as their official athletic mascot. This integration generates a high volume of local tourism revenue. Museums open 7 days a week, Guided town tours and local merchandise bring thousands of visitors and critical dollars to these communities every year. These isolated towns successfully took their boogeymen and turned them into a permanent economic lifeline. Modern cryptozoology in these spaces has evolved into a matter of civic survival and shared community identity. For rural communities that might otherwise be completely forgotten by passing travelers, these legends provide a permanent, unique place on the American map. It gives people a reason to stop and visit. Science may have proven these creatures never existed in the wild, but we didn't capture the monsters. The monsters captured us, altering towns they haunt.